Alright, so it turns out you guys liked the last video where we did Toronto. So we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to start branching out into the rest of Canada. This is something that I've wanted to do now for a while. I just wasn't sure how to actually go about it. I do want to make some trips across the country as well. Like, this isn't going to be how I do all the spot videos going forward. This is just one of those on theme with the craziest tricks that have ever gone down in certain cities across Canada. Some of the spots in this video aren't technically Vancouver, but pretty much within that general vicinity. Like, we're going to cover like Burnaby as well. With all that said, let's just jump right into it and start getting into some of the craziest tricks that have ever gone down in Vancouver. To get things started, I think we should just go straight to Dillon at the Burnaby City Hall with this kickflip up this giant Euro gap that people usually skate into. But that kickflip was so fucking sick, dude. Like, that kickflip's amazing. Having to get towed in by a motorcycle as well. I hear it's actually pretty gnarly to bring a motorcycle into that spot. And if we're going to talk about Dillon kickflip, we got to talk about the most recent flip trick to go down on this spot. Is Brandon Westgate in the Thrasher Vacation Canada Tour. Eats the most shit. You'd be just flying at it too. Cops are obviously coming in to kick him out, but he frontside flipped up this spot. And I mean, the footage does that spot justice for sure. So shout out to Brandon Westgate. Gonna be like a lot of different skateboarders than we're typically used to seeing like in the Toronto videos, because so many pros from all over like North America actually do and go skate the spots in Vancouver and all around BC as well. You're gonna start seeing skaters like Paul Rodriguez in this video. You'll see Chris Joslin, the Decenzos, Jordan Hoffart. There's gonna be a nice variety in this one. I'm stoked. At the end of the Thrasher Vacation Canada Tour, we got TJ Rogers, who switch 180'd. That's actually the ender too for the whole video as well, which is gnarly. That thing is no joke. I mean, we're also talking about the guy who switch 180'd El Toro here, but switch 180 down this massive double, which I want to say is like an 8 flat 9. Canadian style stairs as well. These are not small steps by any means. Make sure to stick around throughout this entire video, because there's a lot of tricks that we're going to be saving for the end, which are going to be like the big ones, especially like on black ice, where we got that giant double stair as well as the long out ledge. Next up, we got the UBC 12 stair. This is a big 12 stair. Like, it always just looked so good on film as well. Tajay Armstrong, dude. Nollie 3 shoved it. That right there is so insane. Little hand touch, I get it, but dude, that's Tajay's trick, and to do that down the giant 12 stair. I also really liked Spencer Hamilton's fakey frontside flip down it. Right here, this is beast. Love the way he's like hopping away after he rides off the curb. It's just so sick. Like, you can just tell like that was a lot of impact to come down off of for a fakey frontside flip as well. Sasha Daly, he did fakey flip on UBC 12. That shit was beast. Like, he kind of shifted it too. Looked really good. Like that one a lot with the Tupac song as well. Evan Tancredi, I don't know if that's how you say his name, but he did nollie hard flip on UBC 12. That was crazy. Shout out to the Van Skate Clips account on Instagram as well. That account actually helped out a lot with finding these clips. Chad Dixon, he also did switch varial heel flip down it. I think that's got to be up there with one of the best tricks for sure. That was in his City of New Lights part. We're going to get to his ender, which is on black ice, at the end of the video, so stick around for that one. Hit the like button while you're at it too. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a little smiley face for the engagement. Mikey Ray also did like the best switch big heel down the 12 as well. I definitely got to put it up there. We also got Sam Lind, who did frontside wall ride, like grab, yank out over the 12 as well, which was just buck, dude. That might be like the gnarliest thing you could do there, is actually just skating the wall of the 12 stair. That's insane. Also another legendary spot, this 17 stair handrail, blue handrail. I'm not sure the name of the spot. Let me know in the comments down below if you know it. This rail's been skated by a few people. You got Ryan Decenzo and Scott Decenzo. Scott Decenzo did frontside board slide down it, and Ryan Decenzo, I'm pretty sure, did backside 50-50 down it. But Magnus Hanson, he did a few tricks on it in this digital smoke and mirrors part. Backside feeble, front lipped it as well. And he also front smithed it, so Magnus Hanson's kind of been shutting down this rail for a long time. One of the last tricks he did down it though in his part was frontside nose grind. On a Flip Canada tour, Alec Majerus, he front feebled that rail as well. On that same rail, Mikey Ray in Grab the Gauge, he did backside Smith grind on it. You know it's a big rail when you're giving the ender of the whole video to that spot. One of Paul Machnau's last tricks in his Red Star full part was frontside nose blunt down it. I mean, we gotta talk about Terry Fox. That nose manning nollie heel flip that he did on Go Skateboarding Day, I think is one of the best tricks to ever go down in Vancouver. Another person who skated the spot similar was Spencer Hamilton. He did fakie flip Manny down it. And he's also done switch Manny, switch flip down it on it as well. Kenny Nguyen, he did nose manny nollie flip on that, and I'm pretty sure Peter Ramondetta also did it, but I wasn't able to find the clip. Pretty recently, Kenny Nguyen, he did that shit, and it was perfect. There's this big 11 stair, I'm not too sure the name of it, but help me out in the comments if you can. A lot of tricks have gone down on this, and I'm definitely leaving out a whole bunch here, but that's what we're going to go to Vancouver for one day and actually cover it ourselves in person. I just got to shout out Sean Shimada with the nollie hard flip that he did down that thing. That was massive. This digital video is probably in my top 3 favorite digital videos of all time. Get tricks or die trying. You might recognize this spot from Girl Yeah Right, Rick McCrank, who did frontside 180 down a big double and then switch ollies another even bigger double stair afterwards as well. Jordan Hoffart in his Get Tricks or Die Trying part, he does kickflip down the first double and then he pop shoves the second one. That does not look like a good time to skate. So that was his ender for that video, so you know it's another big spot. You know how you also know it's a very large spot? When Chris Joslin skates it. And when Chris Joslin comes all the way to Vancouver to nollie flip your double stair, you know it's no joke. He came up and did nollie flip down this thing. Popped it perfectly too. That was in his Etnies album part. It's a shame he's not on Etnies anymore, but hey, shit happens. At UBC, there's this 2 flat 2 flat 2 flat 2 flat 2 flat 2. It adds up to 12 stairs. It's like a 6-tuple set, so it's massive. Leon Kaitsu, he did hard flip down that thing. I think he was only in Vancouver for like 3 weeks when he filmed that part spot to spot, but that hard flip is so massive. And then you also have Chris Joslin, who also tray flipped it. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I think he did that in like 2015.
Like he did a 3 flip on flat ground, but it was off a fucking mountain.
Going back to massive sets of stairs and massive rails, actually. Shout out to Chris Foley, dude. He frontside 50-50, this big 26 stair rail with a kink at the bottom of it too, and he made that shit look easy. I don't know if it was easy, but the way he did it, it looked really good. And that was back in 2001. In the last video, you came for me. Wade Desarmo wasn't in the last one, but he's in this one. You know why? Because he kickflipped backside 5-0'd this gap to green box. That doesn't look safe. Shout out to Wade Desarmo for getting Nartec on that one for sure. Also, we gotta shout out Paul Trepp. He gapped switchback 5-0'd it too in RDS Skateboard Party. Love that part with the T.I. song. ASAP, ASAP. That was definitely one of my favorite videos growing up, and even to this day when I watch that part, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So sick. Shout out to Paul Trepp. Glad to see him back on Instagram. Next up, we got what I believe is called the Alpha Gap. Correct me again if I'm wrong on that. I'm not a Vancouver local, but I am a big fan. Grant Patterson, nollie tray flip on this gap as well. Famous gap, a lot of people have skated it. And boom, that nollie tray flip and blind what if, such a sick clip. And we also got Brandon Del Bianco, another form of nollie 360 kickflip. He did nollie frontside 360 kickflip, or like nollie cab flip down it. Right here. Always wish there was a fisheye angle of that one, but you get the long lens. Also in Brandon Del Bianco's Slubbucks part, right before that nollie frontside 360 flip, he does switchback 180 down this massive gap. It's like off a roof over a set of stairs that goes down. Super gnarly. The photo was amazing. The photo actually is what makes it look massive.
Welcome to the north. Welcome to the north. Welcome to the
At the Museum of Anthropology, there's a 19 stair handrail. It's like a curved S rail. And Andy Anderson, he did frontside 50-50 down it as his ender in a video by Brett Novak. I always felt like the filming didn't really do the spot justice. I mean, you could definitely see that it's a long grind, but the photo is what definitely always stood out to me. Was Matt Berger. He did 50-50 on this big ass rail in Etney's album. TJ Rogers, there's this outledge and he switchback nose blunts it. I've heard that that spot's like harder than it looks on film, and switchback nose blunts like absolutely insane, so definitely goes on the list.
And we're done the series. Steady pushing, we out.
Paul Trapp's ender, Strange Brew. He switch flip front boards this big 10 rail. In DGK, Parental Advisory, Wade Desarmo does probably my favorite frontside flip of all time. One of them at least. Does a kick flip first and then frontside flips it afterwards, and it's like the sickest frontside flip ever. Also, Spencer Hamilton, he fakey vario flipped over that same rail for a New Balance ad. I think it's like a 17 stair rail. It looks massive, and Alec Majerus on that Flip Canada tour did backlip to fakie on it. John Koss on this ledge over grass, he does kickflip back tail, heel flip out to regular. Such a sick one in his Max Allure Born Free part. Also in that same part, his ender, he does nollie inward heel flip, backside lip slide on this rail that people just get super tech on all the time. Just such a sick spot. Another really good one that was done on that rail, and a lot of tricks have gone down on it, but this one's really sick. Kieran Zimmerman, he did kickback tail, big spin out in the Jenny video, Devil's Elbow I think it's called. But yeah, that's such a crazy one to do on any handrail, on any obstacle, to be honest. This one's insane because it was in Not Another Trans World video, and it's a single clip of Cameo Wilson in the second montage, and he does gap kickback lip slide. We got Scott Decenzo, who skates this iconic spot, and now a lot of tricks have gone down on this one, but I want to feature this one for sure. It's such a gnarly trick, always reminds me of Brian Wenning as well. Switchback tail 3-shove on this long out ledge, and you got a gap over a stair. Pretty similar to Bickford that we have in Toronto, a little less rugged looking, and it's right in the city too, which is sick. Shout out to Mitch Barrette, who helped compose a lot of this list as well. Sent me a photo of him driving by that spot, and when you see it like from the road, like you see how big that spot actually looks. Can't talk about Scott Decenzo without also mentioning Ryan Decenzo too. These guys have shut down Vancouver for a long time. Let's go talk about UBC 14. Ryan Decenzo nollie heel flip that right there. Boom. Big nollie heel flip down that thing. If you haven't watched his Coastal Riders part, definitely check that out. All the links are in the description, by the way. If you haven't watched these videos after this one, go check them out. In Strange Brew, Sasha Daly's fakey full cab down the UBC 14. That would suck to try. That just looks like such a bad time, but he did it perfectly. It was so sick. Micky Ray, he also did backside 360 down UBC 14 as well. I don't know where the clip actually is, like where it was in an edit, but we have his clip from Instagram as well. Frick, I'm sorry on Instagram, go check him out. Always thought it was really sick that Paul Rodriguez also skated it too, and he did varial heel flip on it. Big varial heel flip right there. He also switch front heeled it in this video too. I never knew why that one was like, why the clips weren't put together in the edit, and why the switch front heel wasn't slow mode, but the switch front heel is insane. The ground at that spot does not look good. It's like that pebbly stone looking ground, and the stairs look gnarly, but that one was crazy. Then we also got Galea Mamalu, who did nollie backside board slide down the rail at UBC 14 as well. That was in his Dark Star Battalion part. The sickest Andre Nicotina song. If you haven't watched Galea Mamalu's part in Dark Star Battalion, I'll give you permission to pause this video right now and go watch it, because that is an absolute must. There's this big ass hubba, lands into like a small little bit of concrete, and then there's grass. And I don't know if a lot of tricks have gone down on this thing. Ryan Decenzo might have back 5-0'd it back in the day, But Dallas Ives, he did switch front tail on it. Sick clip on Instagram of it, and a really good photo as well by Ty James. Next up, we got the Georgia Banks. Definitely a very iconic Canadian spot. It's got the orange, brownish brick banks. Skylar Kerr, this spot actually landed him the cover of King Shit. He kickflipped from the platform into the bank. So lethal, dude. What the fuck? Not only did he kickflip into it though, but he's also done front shove into it as well, which also had a sick photo, and I'm pretty sure that one was also run as well. Those are two really iconic tricks that have gone down at that spot. You also have Sasha Daly, who did a line. It's similar to what Skylar did. There's a whole fountain at the top. He does a tray flip over a flat gap, another flat trick in the middle, then over a ledge, kick flips over it into the bank as well, which would be so scary. Like, two very different types of ways to skate that spot, two different kickflips, both gnarly in their own way. Paul Machnau and big handrails, Vancouver, perfect combination. You got this massive 17 rail. This was in Globe, United by Fate, episode 1. Paul Machnau does frontside nose blunt down this big rail. Those stairs do not look small. I would love to see these spots one day and actually go check them out. If you think we should eventually, you know, buy a plane ticket and go explore some of these spots, leave a comment and let me know down below if you'd like to see that. If you've made it this far in the video, hey, it means you're liking it. So you might as well hit that like button as well. Respect. We got Cameo Wilson up next. There's this big ass double kinked handrail at the Main Street Science Station. So sick. He 50-50 through that thing. That doesn't look very fun. This angle's gnarly as well. You can really see like just how beast that rail is. Shout out to Cameo Wilson. He's also coming up pretty soon at Black Ice. Bradley Shepard in the Street Demon video, there's this double kinked hubba and he board slid it. I've never been to the spot, but I was told that that thing is super gnarly and needs to be on that list. So I'm not gonna doubt anybody who's telling me to put things on the list. Also, if there's other things that weren't on this list by the end of the video, definitely let me know what else you think should be there. There's over like 60 tricks in this video, coming close to 70, I wanna say. We had to limit it to some sort of number where this video is actually kind of watchable. And even still, with that said, like, it's still gonna be kind of a long one. So shout out to you if you're still watching it, thank you. And on that same kinked white hubba, Jordan Hoffart also did 50-50 on it in the Powell Fun video, and it just goes by super quick. Chris Russell, lee side, famous bowl in Vancouver. He wall rid the fucking ceiling, dude. I always really liked Spencer Hamilton's tricks. We got him doing an alley-oop switch backside flip over a handrail, and also fakey frontside flipping over that 10 rail as well in Vancouver. In Dad Skateboards, their newest video, Dad 3, Tyler Debathe, he did some pretty crazy ones. So I'm just going to play all of his tricks back to back. He frontside flipped over that rail that Spencer Hamilton alley-oop switch backside flipped over, which is insane. And frontside flip is also crazy too, so throw that one on the list for sure. He also did switch frontside flip down this 3 flat 3 flat 3. Looks like a really big triple stair. So, I mean, I don't really have the context of that spot because I've obviously never been, but it just looks massive on film, and it's also the second last trick in his part, so you know that's gotta be a good one. And then his ender in that part too as well, that tray flip that he does in between the two pillars, that one just looked crazy. I mean, he's got a gap out. It looks like a really long flat gap to drop, almost like just having to clear over that block thing at the end of it. That spot just looks crazy, but shout out to Tyler Debathe on that one. We also got Corey Lakeman, who got a really sick photo for this one. The filming angle unfortunately doesn't do justice, but the filmer obviously had to be away from the photographer because the photo's amazing, dude. Corey Lakeman, he did backtailed the roof as a ledge to drop, and it just looks super gnarly. I always remember the comments for that one saying like, this should have been a cover, and I definitely agree. That should have been a cover, but it was run in SBC. Getting closer to the end here, we got to bring it back to Mitch Barrette. Mitch Barrette with that insane nose grind nollie heel flip. That one takes the cake for probably being the gnarliest nose grind nollie heel I've ever seen in my life. Bringing it back to Dillon Moore again. Another massive kickflip. This one landed in the cover of King Shit as well. There's like no run up to this thing. It's one push and haul ass down this massive bank after a drop, and then to another drop as well.
What? What? What the fuck?
On the other side of where Dillon kickflipped into it, Adam Hopkins, he did boneless into it. It got him the cover of king shit as well, so 2 covers on that spot. I mean, that thing looks gnarly. We now come to the final spot, Black Ice. This thing just looks so massive on film. I'm going to mention a good handful of tricks on this one. There's probably more, but I want to start off with Micky Papa's varial heel flip down in his thrasher part. It's the opening trick in his part. He makes it look so easy. One of my favorite tricks as well is probably one of the best backside flips of all time by Aaron Johnson. He backside flipped it. I'm a big fan of backside flips, if you know me, and that one was textbook. Perfect backside flip. Shout out to Aaron Johnson. In that same video, Magnus Hanson, he has a part in that too. He did a really good varial flip down it actually, and that's not a trick that you typically hear the words really good in front of, but Magnus Hanson's varial flip, play the clip, you'll see it. That is a really good looking varial flip. On a Go Skateboarding day, I think it was like 2009, Andrew Reynolds, he frontside flipped down Black Ice, and there's a really epic photo down it as well. Black and white, looks so sick. A lot of the camera angles, unfortunately, weren't the best, and they're pretty bad quality, so you have to bear with me on that one. Also, Ryan Decenzo, in his Coastal Riders part, he did frontside flip on it as well.
Are you fucking kidding?
And on Go Skateboarding Day 2022, Mikey Ray, he hard flipped it. There's so many different camera angles of that one, so that one we actually did luckily get a good angle of that one for sure. Good slow-mo on the clip, and you can just see how large that set is. And Ryan Sheckler, he also hard flipped it too, and that was in his Plan B True part. Goes by pretty fast in his part, but it was sick. Ryan Sheckler skated that spot as well, man. Cameo Wilson did one of the best tray flips down that thing as well. I think it's in like a Welcome to Stacks part, but yeah, that one was crazy as well. Leon Kaitsu's backside 360 down Black Ice is Ender in that spot to spot video. Definitely on the list. We come back to Chad Dixon. He also skated Black Ice, and I remember the cover of this. I think it was on the cover of a Color magazine.
I'm fucking done. I'm done. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
I think that might be the best trick to go down on the double stair at Black Ice. This one was always so gnarly to me. It was also gnarly even when Jordan Hoffart just did frontside 50-50 on the big ass outledge at Black Ice, which was in his digital get tricks or die trying part. He frontside 50-50'd it, pops off to the side. What's also sick is that we have Josh Even, RIP, who did backside 50-50 on it and went right to the end with that thing too. Danny MP, I think that's how you say his name. He did backside 50-50 and then boneless 180'd out. Kind of counts. I mean, he didn't step off his board. He broke his board and kind of tic-tacked away, but that shit was a make. I'm counting it. That was sick.
That was fucking amazing, and he broke his board. That's fucking
Jordan Hoffart's frontside tail slide at Black Ice. The amount of impact on that spot. Oh my god, dude. I think he broke his truck as he's riding away from it. Just that's how gnarly the drop is for that thing. Yeah, huge sigh of relief on that one for him as he's riding away. That is the most insane trick. There are so many gnarly tricks that we just watched together. Let me know in the comments down below if we forgot any that you think should have absolutely been on this list. Again, I'm not from Vancouver, so I don't know. Some of these spots aren't even actually in technically Vancouver, but this was a good list that I had. Luckily, I had the help from Mitch Barrette, Frozen Bushings, Carter Grandin, Ty James to help me compose a nice structured list for you guys. If you made it to the end now by this point, it definitely means you enjoyed the video. So if you could hit the like button down below, that actually does help me out a lot. Like trying to get these videos to get seen by more people. I'm already so hyped with how it's going, but hey, the more the merrier, right? Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Should we do Montreal next? Let me know. Anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.